A Canadian's been running the rap game? Half Jewish? That's why they mad. That's why they mad.
Man, I just got to be a good rapper. But, you know, to a lot of other people, they were like, wait, what? You're Canadian, you're Jewish, and you're half, you know, it's just like mind-blowing things to them. But like I said, yeah, I don't think that, you know, it wasn't like on my mixtape cover, it just said like the new Canadian half black Jewish. Like, it wasn't like advertised. So people had to go kind of find out about me.
So it looks like Drake still hasn't learned his lesson after Kendrick Lamar exposed and shamed him in front of the whole world. Believe it or not, Drake's out here stirring the pot again, saying that Black Americans are just salty because a Jewish Canadian is running the hip-hop game. The audacity, y'all. Drake is seriously leaning into that colonizer label, and fans are digging up all the receipts on Drake disrespecting Black American culture in the most outrageous ways. He's been accused of mocking Black trauma, disrespecting and shading Black women, and even hanging out with known racks. And now, after all that, Drake is actually accusing Black people of hating on him because he's biracial, Jewish, and Canadian, but fans were quick to clap back, saying it has nothing to do with his race, nationality, or religion. It's all about Drake exploiting Black American culture for profit while showing zero respect for it. So what is Drake's real beef with Black America? Is he seriously embracing the colonizer label? Let's break it down.
Well, there's Jewish, and you know we have great Jewish dinners like Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. First of all, I live in an all Jewish area, Forest Hill. Okay. I went to a predominantly Jewish school.
Drake's place in Black American hip-hop has always been controversial, but his ongoing beef with Kendrick Lamar has taken it to a whole new level. As you all know, Kendrick made some pretty bold statements in his diss tracks, saying that Drake shouldn't even be allowed to use the N-word and labeling him a colonizer. This accusation has sparked a huge debate among fans, and a lot of them are saying Kendrick's critique hits home because it highlights a trend where Drake appears to selectively embrace elements of Black culture that boost his image or career. But let's not forget that Kendrick isn't the first to call Drake out for seemingly disrespecting Black American culture while reaping the benefits. For years now, there have been all these whispers and straight-up charges flying around about Drake cozying up to Black rap artists, copying everything from their sound and flow to their accent for his own gain, and then just moving on to his next project. Big stars like Earl Sweatshirt, Rick Ross, and Pusha T have all chimed in on this with claims of Drake being a culture vulture swirling around for at least a decade. And as if that's not enough, Drake's also been caught red-handed stealing flows from other artists, most infamously the Lakes tension, which led to their highly publicized beef, and even some wild allegations about Drake's alleged connections to Lamar. X accused Drake of stealing his flow from Look at Me and using it on the track from Drake's 2017 mixtape More Life. So back in February 2017, X told XL magazine that he would have really liked it if Drake had given him some credit. At the time, X was behind bars on 6 felony charges, and he thought a shout out from Drake could have been a real game changer for him. He could have reached out to me directly and spoken to me, and it definitely would have been more respectable. X said, but he dropped that preview, and it sounded a bit like, look at me, and he could be a big help in the situation to get me out of jail because I'm facing life. Things quickly escalated after X was released from jail and started publicly calling out Drake and his OVO team.
You made for shit. I'm made for.
So you in jail, he's supposed to contact your manager, and then what happened?
He dropped a video, a preview in Amsterdam with some from the UK. You know what I'm saying? He dropped the video. I was talking to my girl at the time, not the same bitch that got me arrested, a different girl.
Okay.
I was talking to her at the time, and she was like, yo, listen to, no, actually, it was my dog, Chris. I was on the phone with my dog, Chris. He was like, yo, you gotta listen to this good Drake of it. That's exactly what he said. Like, this Drake of you gotta listen to this. So he plays this. I hear, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, what the f? As soon as it started, like, I knew he was getting that. And the funny thing is, we didn't discover it. Like you said, the fans, because they're so cold, like, it's like, I got a piece of the internet, you feel me?
So they were saying that Drake was biting your style. That's what the fans were saying.
Yeah. Flow, hell yeah, bro. You could take his verse, like they did a mashup. They put his verse on my song, and the cadence is literally just at the same tempo. It's not offbeat at all.
So now where do you guys stand? Like, what's good now?
I still think Drake as a man, no, I'm keeping a blood raw. I still think Drake, like, I think he's not a man. I think that's a move.
I counterattack.
always counterattack. I don't initiate things. I always counterattack. Just like in this situation, no matter what anybody says, I didn't initiate. This ran off with my. Everybody knew he ran off with my. Bruh, nobody's gonna openly disrespect the out of me and disrespect my craft when I'm 19 years old. That motherfucker, what is he, like 60? Like 65? Or isn't he? Didn't he get like surgery on his arms or some shit? Didn't he get like plastic surgery? Didn't you go see like Dr. 300 like 3 times? But what the you think I'm gonna let you take my not say nothing? You can suck my
Deerfield Beach. The rapper XXX Tentacion has been shot, apparently targeted while shopping for a motorcycle. Chopper 4 was over the scene on North Dixie Highway near Sample Road. The Broward Sheriff's Office says they got a call about the shooting at around 4 p.m. They say the rapper was transported to an area hospital where the Sheriff's Office says he died. We are continuing to work this story, and we'll have more on the CBSMiami.com website and on CBS 4 News at 7 and 11.
Drake was initially staying silent on the whole beef, and he made people think he was taking the high road. But some fans now think Drake might have threatened X behind the scenes because in February 2018, just 4 months before he was killed, X wrote on his IG story, "If anyone tries to kill me, it was Drake. I'm snitching right now." Now, Sater claimed his account was hacked, but one of the lawyers for the defense in XXX's trial actually mentioned X's IG story about Drake supposedly threatening him, and he alleged that the authorities should have investigated Drake's connection to the case.
Before X died, he said, if anybody is Drake. And do you think that for one moment, here today, days after the event, he 2 masked men, right? He came on social media and said, guys, before he dies, if anybody is Drake, do you think in that time span that they went and they addressed him, they talked to him? No. Do you think sitting here today, years later, any detective has ever asked, Drake or anybody like that? No. They never did that.
In Cortland, wrapping up just a few minutes ago for the evening, but this afternoon we did hear from X's uncle who was there on that tragic day back in 2018. Day 1 in the trial for the 3 men accused of killing South Florida rapper XXX Tentacion. Defendants Kendrick Williams, Trayvon Newsom, and Michael Boatwright in court as a jury listened to opening statements.
State of Florida, did you wish to open?
Yes, we do.
The rapper, whose real name is Jose Onfroy, was killed back in June of 2018 as he left Riva Motorsport in Deerfield Beach. He'd gone to the bike dealership that day with a relative after withdrawing $50,000 from the bank. As Onfroy left, surveillance cameras capturing a truck blocking the rapper from leaving in the robbery that ensued.
And the 2 gunmen jump out and immediately put guns in the victim's face and in Leonard Kerr's face.
Onfroy's uncle, Leonard Kerr.
You don't come out the effing car. And he was like with a gun. You don't come out the effing car. The shorter one was at Jose's side.
Both sides agree all 3 men took photos shortly after the crime with a large amount of money. However, all 3 defense attorneys argued their clients were merely accessories after the fact. Michael Boatwright is accused of pulling the trigger that day. His attorney says he couldn't have because he was not there.
4 o'clock, June 18th, 2018 is the time of this murder. At that time, Michael was home.
Kendrick Williams' attorney also placing the blame elsewhere, quoting a social media post made by Onfroy in the days leading up to his death.
Before X died, he said, if anybody kills me, it's Drake.
Robert Allen, the 4th suspect who was involved in the case but was not present for opening statements. That's because Allen pled guilty to 2nd-degree murder and has agreed to take the stand. Trayvon Newsom's attorney saying the only thing his client is guilty of is being friends with Allen.
Robert Allen is the unfortunate friend of Trayvon Newsom.
X fans also think that Drake dropped hints about his connection to X on several songs like I'm Upset and Mighty on I'm Upset, which dropped just 1 month before X was Drake seemingly references the plot against X rapping XSS. That's the only time I was below the net. And then after X passed, Drake dropped Mod Ties where he wed Louis bags in exchange for body bags, which many interpreted as a direct reference to what happened to X because the man who killed X took his LV bag containing cash. But Drake didn't stop there on his 2023 joint album with 21 Savage. Drake apparently made yet another reference to his beef with Extension on the track on BS. Drake thought that thus maybe I should break that 20 and do a 10. If he held this time on that live, he'd be alive again. So the number 10 in Roman numerals is the letter X, and since Drake said it 3 times, break that 20 meaning to 10, and then do a 10 is another one. This could possibly be a reference to XX tension, especially since Drake then goes on to say someone who dissed him on IG Live is no longer alive. Now moving on to another incident where Drake showed his true colors, let's throw it back to when he posed for photos in blackface and then came up with some lame excuse about raising awareness for how black actors are treated. The photos were shot by photographer David Les in 2007 and showed a young Drake back when he was still chasing his acting dreams and before he realized he could make more money by cosplaying a rap than Pusha to use that very photo as the cover art for his diss track The Story of Added On, and the internet exploded, but Drake tried to calm the storm by saying that the blackface pic was meant to highlight the unfair treatment of black actors in the entertainment industry, but his explanation didn't really do much to cool things down. Drake wrote in a post that photos represented how African Americans were once wrongfully portrayed in entertainment. This was to highlight and raise our frustrations with not always getting a fair chance in the industry, and to make a point that the struggle for black actors had not changed much. But even if this is true, then why did Drake keep making a mockery of enslavement in America by dropping slavery punchlines in his songs on Slime You Out from his 2023 album? For all the dogs he dubbed us, whipped and chained you like American slaves, talking about buying cars and jewelry for women. Then on his Kendrick diss track Family Matters, Drake again uses a slavery bar saying you always rapping like you about to get the slaves free. It's pretty bizarre how Drake has an obsession with using enslavement in America as a punchline. It's not just lame, it's downright offensive. And here's why: Drake is quick to joke about black pain and trauma, but you and I both know he would never do the same with tragedy experienced by the people his mother come from. As one fan pointed out, the fact that Drake made a joke about the freedom of slaves shows you that he knows nothing about our ancestors, nothing about our black pain, and nothing about slavery. Imagine if Kendrick said the tattoos he was burning with the tattoo numbers of Drake's Holocaust ancestors-ish wouldn't be a joke, would it? White boy black pain's funny to you? And if that wasn't enough, fans have noticed that Drake keeps cozying up to controversial figures known for their racist antics, from country star Morgan Wallen, who was caught on video using the N-word, to the notorious Hell's Kitchen biker gang. Remember when Rick Ross got into it in Vancouver earlier this month, supposedly with Drake's affiliates? Ross was in town for a music festival and decided to play Kendrick's diss track Not Like Us, but apparently the locals having it and Ross and his crew got roughed up backstage. But here's a twist: word on the street is that it was members of the Hells Angels behind the attack. It's no secret that Drake has been tight with the Hells Angels for a while now, even giving them shout-outs in songs and on social media. But here's where it gets really shady: the Hells Angels have a nasty past of racially motivated violence. Just last September, 3 of them were involved in a brutal attack on 3 young black men, which was described as an attempted lynch.
Hell of a story. 3 young black men were almost lynched by a biker gang. Put up the picture. Okay? This was not the South. This was actually in San Diego, California. In a KKK-style attack, 17 outlaws from the biker gang, Hells Angels, chased down and viciously attacked 3 black men back in June.
So anyway, Drake was later caught liking a post about those white guys attacking Rick Ross. Then this led podcaster Don Brown to share this photo of Drake rocking a Hells Angel shirt. Brown wrote in the caption that Rick Ross was attacked by a racist Canadian gang with clear ties to the Hells Angels while being called the N-word in the attack. Drake is also an open Hells Angel fan. Drake should be made to denounce white supremacy and white supremacist gangs. Drake's connection to Hells Angels leader Andrew Carew should be investigated, along with his relationship with the human gang, the Hells Angels. If you haven't heard of Andrew Carew, he's the sketchy Canadian millionaire who throws these wild star-filled parties. He's also got a rap sheet with charges like possession and DD, and word on the street is he's mixed up in some pretty shady business. And by shady, I mean Diddy-level shady. And here's the kicker. Internet sleuths say Carew has very close ties with the Hells Angels, and apparently Drake's been cozying up to them for ages to boost his street fame. Drake even had Carew in the music video for his trash track Family Matters. But hold up, just when you thought Drake couldn't sink any lower. Oh, he did, as if taking songs from black artists joking about slavery and working with racists wasn't bad enough. There's a video making the rounds where this DJ in Dubai screams about Kendrick mocking black American rappers and fans, and that's not all. This man, who by the way sounds like he's dying to use the N-word, also said that Drake is the real glue bringing the West Coast together, not Kendrick.
Kendrick won. Very cute moment. But guess what else? For the last 15 years, guess who's been killing it? It's about time somebody not Canadian over. Right? Right? A Canadian's been running the rap game? Half Jewish? That's why they mad. That's why they mad. All the gangsters on the streets in LA coming. Bloods and Crips united because of this man. My man brought the city together. He's doing more for them than, oh my God. It's crazy. It's crazy. Toronto all day. I love you.
Well, check this out. Drake was caught liking this video, and fans are now absolutely dragging him for it. They're saying this is just more proof that Drake doesn't have an ounce of respect for the culture and the people he's been making money off of for years. It's like he's basically confirming what Kendrick said about him being a colonizer. One fan said there are plenty of biracial and flat-out non-black musical artists that are backed and loved by Black American fans. Drake is just trying to find an excuse for his loss, and instead of just admitting to himself that Kendrick is simply a better lyricist and rapper, period. And then another fan added, exactly now, he wants to blame the very people who helped him get where he is or was SMH, just like a colonizer. But let me hear your take on this whole colonizer debate. And what do you think about Drake claiming black people don't like him because he's mixed and Canadian? Drop your thoughts below, and then stick around for this next video.